It's live. It's Friday night. Detroit in black and white. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Al-
Good evening.
Alan Lango, Deadline Detroit, Vanessa Moss.
Hey.
Okay, Vanessa. Jim Nardoni. How you doing, Jim?
I'm well. Friday night, the fights.
Yeah, Friday night. Listen.
Jim just barely got out of school and he acting like a grown person. you know, you know that commercial I see all the time. Kids say the darndest things. They're talking about the young lady from Trenton that's running for state rep. Jim, you said that she has a chance to flip that seat, right?
Well, it's always a 50-50 down here in the state legislature. So in 2016, it was 300 votes. The Democrat won, and 2018, 2022, the Democrat won by about 600 votes. But it's before that, it was the seat was held by a Republican for 2 or 3 terms.
I see. There's Go
ahead, Alan.
No, I was just going to say there's a big high school football game tonight. Trenton versus
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yep, Chelsea.
Damn, Lango, you always be talking about some sports and stuff.
Listen, that's okay. That's okay. But listen, we need to acknowledge that there are people that are home watching us tonight. So we want to thank you for watching Detroit in black and white. We are here live tonight. It's Friday. We are on your screen every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Now Fridays from 8:30 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday mornings from 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning. If you're watching, we want you to like, subscribe, and share. If you're watching, like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification button.
But I'm going to tell you, we have inside the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan, we had 28 ambassadors from the European Union in Detroit this morning. They have been meeting with Jocelyn Benson, Garland Gilchrist, Mike Duggan, because they have, been told that Michigan is one of the key states in the election. And as Michigan goes, whoever's going to win Michigan has a good chance of winning. We had folks from Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Portugal, Spain, Switzerland. And it's funny what I saw this morning. I was at the Cambria Hotel. That's where they were. A lot of women in positions of power that are ambassadors. And I look at what we're doing in this election, and you might not agree with the agenda of the vice president, but we know that the U.S. is behind when it comes to electing women to the highest office. India even had a woman prime minister, and that's one of the most sexist countries in the world.
Pakistan.
All these folks have had women in power. We look at Israel during was it
73?
73. Go to my ear. So, but I'm looking at, we got folks that don't want the vice president elected just because they look at her as an angry black woman. Now, you can make your argument that you don't like her agenda. You don't think that she'll be a great president, but people I don't like her because I don't like her. And that's all I hear. So, yeah.
I don't like her because she's not black enough. I don't think a woman can stand up to Putin. I don't see it's all bullshit,
Well, look at the woman in Germany, Merkel. Merkel was a tough woman. Margaret Thatcher. They called her the Iron Maiden. She didn't play. But, hey, Go ahead, Vanessa.
I know we're talking about gender, but the point of the matter is this. People will have all kinds of reasons of why they're going to support or not support. It could be gender, it could be race, it could be just because I don't like the way you smile. It doesn't matter. The people vote for people for different reasons. And so, you know, we'll see November the 5th what it's all going to be. I don't think that, and I'm not implying that you are doing that, but I don't think it's cool to beat up on people because they have a different view of who should be the leader of the United States. If you don't agree, then okay, that's your business. But you're not going to beat up on me and impose your will on me, just as I am not going to beat up on you and impose my will on you. Yes, sir.
But I understand what you're saying, and we shouldn't shame people for what their thoughts are, but we can certainly challenge people when, so, you know, in a discussion over if their decisions are based on that it's a woman, or that the person's not black enough, that Jamaica isn't considered black or whatever. I mean, look, people are going to have their prejudices or whatever. They're going to decide, but it's okay to discuss it and raise the issue. I think.
But Alan, you come from a community where you know you ain't Jewish enough. I'm an Orthodox Jew. Oh, Alan, you're a liberal Jew or a conservative Jew. I've heard, you know, some of my Jewish friends say, "Oh, he's Orthodox." I say, "What do that mean?" Well, he observed all the tradition of being Jewish. And somebody like a liberal might be eating pork and stuff. They got a bacon and lettuce and tomato sandwich that people don't like. Jim, you come from a profession that women had a hard time becoming police officers and becoming the police chief.
Started in the 1970s, really, is when women we think it was 100 years ago that women came into policing, but generally it's been only 40 or 50 years that women came into policing at a significant rate. Now we have a lot of police chiefs that are women. And
well, look, the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover didn't let women in for a long time, and didn't let black.
Well, he had one black agent for a long time, and it was his chauffeur. Had a badge. He was an FBI agent, drove him around.
And we have women that are just as good, some that are better than the men. And for anybody that that thinks that there aren't good women police officers out there, they have no idea, because they're
and you looked at World War II, where you had women. You know, they put them in separate military units and stuff. But we had women that flew planes and worked in the factories, that did all the things that men was doing. And when the war was over, these guys came back and say, you got to go back and you got to have some babies and you got to be a housewife. You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Vanessa, let me ask you this. If somebody said, I'm not going to vote for you because you're a woman, I'd rather see a man on the bench, how would you feel about that?
I wouldn't be shocked, because it's more men on the bench than it is women. So it wouldn't be shocked. And I would say, okay, that's fine. That's your choice. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I would not at all be offended, to believe it or not. It is not at all shocking. Listen, we still live in a society that is very sexist. We all know that. We can look at what's going on in this country right now when you talk about the women's right to choose or the women's right not to choose. You have men that are making those kind of decisions. So we live in a sexist society, but we all know that women, wait a minute, we all know that women rule the world. We run, you know, you made a comment about being a housewife. Listen, I think being a housewife is a very honorable job. You know how to budget.
I'm not saying it's not an honorable job. All I'm saying is they want you. They want. Listen, you flew planes during World War II, and then when it's all over with, you go back and this is what you're supposed to do.
We're glad somebody's out there watching this, right?
Well, he says it's sexist both ways. I don't know what he means by that. I hope he makes a comment. But the bottom line is this: women run households. Women run the boardroom. Women run prisons. We had somebody on our show not too long ago, a good friend of mine, Joe Irby. She Guantanamo Bay. She ran a whole prison. Okay, a prisoner camp. So it's not as if it's an impossibility, but the fact of the matter is, people will use anything to not vote for somebody
or to vote for somebody. And I think that's where Marlon was going.
Not to vote for somebody. I mean, it goes the other way. People decide that they don't like the way the former president. They don't like the things that he say. They don't like his hair. They don't like. Now, wait a minute. At first they were picking on Joe Biden about his age. Now they talk about the man's age. Oh, well, we don't want to vote for him because he's old. Listen,
I like that.
Not going
well, I don't want to vote for him because he's old. Take the keys from him. And then the asshole brag about the asshole brag about getting rid of Roe versus Wade. And then when his wife come out, the idiot wife come out and said, "Oh, I'm for people having a choice." Because he's an idiot. I'm going to be just like his ass. He's a fucking idiot. And Barron is a fucking retard. Now, that's what we're talking about.
Let me make this disclaimer.
He said he could not. Ain't no question. It's my views. The views is my views. The views is my views. The views is my views. And then the asshole said, "I can't control my wife, but he want to control women's body." The asshole is an asshole. Let's call it like it is. We gave him.
It's not mine.
Listen, it's mine. It's mine. He called everybody names. I'm calling that bitch. He's a bitch. That name. That's what he is, a real bitch.
It's funny when he initially I ran in 2016 and he was making fun of the reporter and he went like this, and then later I think I've mentioned this before. I worked with that reporter at the Washington Post. I worked with that reporter at the Washington Post, and he has a defect in his hand, and he's at the New York Times now. And Trump said, "I don't even know that." Like he said, "I don't even know who that is. I don't even know that person." And I'm friends with this guy. And he said, "We were on a first name basis when I worked at the New York Daily News." So, I mean, his credibility is so.
And his wife was upset, saying that people said she said that people made fun of her son, that he was autistic. He is. He's retarded. He's retarded, just like his daddy. He's retarded.
You say that he has a credibility issue, but there are people who will say that. I'm talking on both sides. Listen, there are people out there. These are people who said that they're not going to support the vice president. They say
that's their problem. That's their problem.
Wait a minute. One of the issues that they say is in terms of her credibility is I saw it today. Somebody put on there she's they didn't say she's not black. They said she's Indian. That's what they said, because if her mother was Indian, then she's Indian. I'm just saying,
half my people, half my relatives.
She's credible or not?
Half my relatives is of another persuasion, because they all mixed up. They all mixed up with all kind of whatever. So listen, they just don't want to vote for it. Alan, go ahead, and then we're gonna take a commercial.
All right, I just want to say you are what you want to be. I mean, so you identify with what you identify. It's not up to Donald Trump to tell you that what you are or whatever. If she says I'm black, identify as being black. She also says I'm of Indian heritage, but she identifies as being black. Who's to tell her, no, you're not black? Sorry, we're going to tell you who you are.
Alan,
bullshit.
Alan, I identify as a Cocker Spaniel.
I knew it. I suspected
So
that.
call the Humane Society on me. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back and continue this conversation. It's live. It's Friday night, Detroit in black and white, and I got the gangs all here.
Right. Marlon, Wano.
Bernie.
Michigan, this is Barack Obama. I want to talk with you about the Alyssa Slotkin I know. Alyssa is a true public servant who has dedicated her career to serving the American people, no matter who is in the White House. I saw that leadership and character up close. Alyssa is the kind of leader we need. Tough, independent, and effective. She'll get the job done. And she will make you proud.
I'm Alyssa Slotkin, and I approve this message.
Hello, Detroit. Election Day is November 5th, but why wait? Beginning Saturday, October 19th, you can vote early at one of Detroit's 14 early vote centers. Early voting runs through Sunday, November 3rd, so let your voice be heard and vote early. If you're voting by absentee ballot, return your ballot as soon as possible. For more information, visit our website or give us a call. And remember to vote, because it's not only your right, it's the right thing to do.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Moss. I have over 4,000 signatures that say I should sit on the bench in 36th District Court. But the bureaucrats had me kicked off the ballot because they don't want you to elect someone who stands for fair and equal justice. And as a defense attorney, I've experienced injustice firsthand. Join the movement. Write in Vanessa Moss. Write in Vanessa Moss for 36th District Court. Remember, Vanessa Moss.
Okay, welcome back. Yeah, we're going
Right in black and white. If you're watching, we want to thank you. Bernie Time, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. We're here on Wednesday nights, Friday nights, as well as Saturday morning.
I think Friday nights for the election time. I'm not sure.
Well, you can go over to Old Miami or that other bar you go to on Friday night. But hey, listen, Chief James White, when he announced last month that he was looking for another job, I already thought he had the job, and of course, he got the job. Jim, your take on his tenure as police chief here in the city of Detroit.
First off, thanks to Dominic, Marlon, Bernie, Wano, everybody that's participating tonight. As far as James White goes, I don't have a lot. I mean,
he said that on Wednesday.
I think I might have said what I had in mind on Wednesday.
Right, he did.
This is the issue, right?
Well, I want to hear his take after a couple of days. Go ahead, Jim.
There's a big difference between being a cop's cop and being a political cop. And, some are a little of each. Some are more of one than the other. And I think James White, I think he did an admirable job. He spent days and nights. I don't want to knock the guy, but, if you saw the commercial, you probably didn't because it was on Fox News. They went to a barbershop in Detroit. Fox News. Did you guys see that? And they acted like some independent. They walked into some barbershop. Well, who's in there? James Craig and Warren Evans, right? They just the Fox News wandered into this barbershop, and half of the people that are, the movers and shakers of Detroit were in that barbershop, and they found a black barber who told them that he was voting for Trump, and I guess they thought it was the greatest thing. So
you can always find people like him. Oh, handkerchief head, barber.
Oh my God! When did we start calling people names because we don't like the decision?
Because we let Trump get away saying and doing anything. I want it, and I'm doing it. And I'm saying it. He's a fucking piece of shit.
I'll just finish up because there's a lot of people talking tonight. But
look, we know who you voting for.
I just wanted to get this one last thing in before
Go ahead. Cornel West, I'm voting for. Go ahead.
I thought it was really interesting that everybody thinks that Donald Trump is too old now, but it seems that there was at least one member of this panel that said they were going to vote for Joe Biden if he was in a casket. So
that was me. That's me.
The word that started hip something or another, but I can't remember how it ends.
Right.
I was going to vote. I will vote for Grandpa before I vote for Donald Trump. That's no question. Vanessa, your take on what we need in a new police chief?
Well, listen, the police chief, Chief White, I said Wednesday, congratulations. I think people who get to do what they are passionate about doing and people who are excited about their jobs, I think it is wonderful that you'll be able to do what you want to do and you get, satisfaction out of doing that. I know that the mayor and the police commissioners, they're meeting, they're going to appoint an interim chief. I think that whoever the interim chief is going to be the chief. And what I enjoyed about Chief White is this: the one that the chief that we had before him, he stayed in front of the camera. I was like, "This is all you do? You got a camera?" He didn't come across as if he really felt comfortable being in front of the camera all the doggone time. He was more, as far as I'm concerned, he was more concerned about something we talked about Wednesday: the mental health, making sure that people are healthy mentally, and especially on that police force. So I'm hoping we get somebody that is, really connected to the community. And when I say connected, that you
It's politics.
on,
It's all politics.
yeah, just like this movement that I have going on. It's all
Okay, it's all politics. Go ahead, Alan.
I mean, I think I think the chief did a fine job. I think they need, I mean, when you talk about the interim, I mean, they could be appointing someone who's really not a true leader, who may be just that, interim. And the question becomes: do you go within the department? Have they been grooming people to rise to that position, or are they going to have to go for a national search?
We got one. I think we got one here.
Yeah,
He's been on our show, and I think he'd be a good chief.
You think Todd Bettison?
Yes, no question.
The question is whether he wants it. He might not.
Okay, yeah, but he would be a great chief. It's a civilian position and stuff, and Todd understands the politics of the police department, and that's it. Why, if it's not broke, why you don't need to fix it? I think you got somebody that can come in, whether he wanted or not is that's another story. But that's my candidate to be.
So
the
let me ask you
police chief.
this: did you rub a crystal ball? Do you know something? Are you trying to tell us something? Do you know something? Okay.
No. I'm not trying to tell anybody anything.
Yeah, my guess is that once you leave the department like that, I'm not sure you'd want to come back. I think, look, if Duggan runs,
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You think so?
Yes, you do.
All right.
I think so. Listen, at one time we had a police commissioner in Detroit, one person, not a whole board, and Jerry Kavanaugh, when he became the mayor, he appointed a former newspaper reporter as the police chief. It's a civilian position.
What's his name?
You can no, but if I'm connected politically, I can become the police chief. I can put 18 stars on my shoulders and walk around with 2 6 guns or whatever I wanted to do. All I'm saying is you really do need somebody that know about policing, but not necessarily been a cop in the last 5-10 years. Somebody that's an administrator. You don't have to be a cop to be the sheriff or the police chief or whatever.
I agree with Tim. I think it helps. I think you want the respect of the troops, first of all. I think you want somebody who's got leadership qualities, somebody who's going to be innovative, a little bit more creative.
Who we need, Jim?
And maintain the integrity, which we've had problems in the past where we've had scandals with some of the chiefs having affairs with some of the, the people are working for them, and it's turned into a
and,
messy.
and fired Jerry O, who beat up on 3 of his wives, couldn't carry a gun, etc. Jim, and we'll move on. What do you look for in a police chief?
I'll just say there's probably 100 to 150 police officers in the Detroit Police Department right now that could be chosen to be the chief of police, and they would do a great job. So it's not a job.
What do you base that on? What do you base it on?
I just think there's that much talent in the Detroit Police Department. You have a department of 2,500 people. And I worked extensively with the Detroit Police Department. It's been a while, but they have some really talented people. You need the education. Typically today, to be a big city police chief, you have to have probably at least a law degree. My guess is somebody with a law degree or at least a master's degree.
Oh well, maybe. I'm just.
We already tried you. We already tried you.
We don't.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
We don't need Chief Gillespie from the heat of the night. A good old boy.
Well, Ron Dizio was the police chief of Dearborn for many, many years, and he was never, ever a police officer. He was an attorney. He was a city attorney for the city of Dearborn.
I rest my case on that. Listen, this has been great. Friday live. Detroit in black and white. Go ahead before we do our final.
I want to ask you a question. You're not gonna share with us what you shared with me about you have somewhere to go on Monday, right?
Where I gotta go to the clerk's office.
Right.
I get a letter back from the clerk saying that I voted absentee and that my signature was fake. So I gotta go in.
Did you vote? Is that you? Did you send it?
Yeah, I voted.
But this is how insane this is as far as I'm concerned. So now you mean to tell me that the people working the clerk's office are now handwriting experts? Get the freak out of here with that BS. They send them a note and say, you got to come down here. Are you kidding me?
Hey, what can I say?
Moment to moment, are you kidding me?
What's your signature? Was it a scribble or something? Was there something that would raise flags? Or
it's what it's been for the last 100 years.
Yeah. Wow.
No question. Vanessa, final thought.
Oh, final thought. So if you're watching this show, you know that I have a movement. I'm a write-in candidate. And let me say this. There are people who don't believe that there's no way in heck I can prevail. I believe that I can. I know that I've gained a lot of traction. I don't know if I even shared the story about what happened last week, but I've gained a lot of traction. And I do believe that people in the city of Detroit are extraordinary people and that they're capable of doing something extraordinary. And that's just write my name in, Vanessa Moss for 36th District Court, regular term, the non-incumbent.
MOSS.
MOSS.
Thank you very much. Jim, your final thought?
Well, Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, we all watch the Lions, Tigers, and Bears. We're all excited about professional sports, but I'm going in a different direction. At 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, and people are going to line up into the thousands to participate. I say participate, race in the Detroit Free Press Marathon, half marathon.
A pain in the ass. You running?
Let me tell you, no, I finished it's been 3 years, 2021. I finished the half marathon during COVID is the last race I've been in. But I just want to tell the people out there, if they're watching, if they know somebody that's running this weekend, give them a big push. Tell them to do it. They can do it. Nothing's more exciting than finishing a half marathon or a marathon. 26.2 miles. If you can go out and do that, anybody can do it. But
I wish they moved it. I wish they moved the marathon to Howell, Michigan.
They do. They have one there too. But I want to pay tribute to the people that are going to get up Sunday morning at 5 o'clock and get down there and run either 13.1 or 26.2 miles. I salute them.
I'll see you down there, Alan.
And my thing is that Chris Christie, the former New Jersey governor, was trashing Dan Campbell because the Lions ran up the score. They brought in the second string after a while. And Chris Christie's full of shit.
Didn't they have a cartoon named after him? What's that, Baby Huey?
Oh, Lord.
Listen.
Listen, before we go, though, let's give a shout out to Dominic, Wano, Marlon, and
Dominic
Sean.
Cirilli, the man.
Sean said that no one on this show supports Kamala. I think Adolph has made it clear that he's supporting the vice president. So
I support the vice president. Hey, listen, I can talk about people that I love, and I can talk about her, but I'm voting for her. So but I can criticize the Democratic Party and how lacking they are in the city of Detroit and Milwaukee and Cleveland and Pittsburgh and Philly and New York and Harlem. Now listen, they got some issues, but we'll see on November 6th after it's all over with. Our life goes on. And Alan,
Well,
you had the last word.
I'll just say early voting in person starts tomorrow in the city of Detroit.
Okay, and if you need a ride, call Alan Lango. You can call me. I'll get Alan to come pick you up. Then y'all can go have a drink over at what is that, old Shillelagh's or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't you hang out there, Alan?
No.
You know.
Old Shillelagh, I've been there, but I don't hang. That's not a hang.
Where do you hang out at so people can come in?
Your famous club that you know so well.
I will see you on Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for participating,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.